before Christmas, when all across the planet not a creature was stirring on the red dust and granite. Or so it appeared as I flew overhead in my small spaceship over the surface so red. While the admirals at home were partying round, I had to fly my ship over the endless red ground of the planet so far. Its glowing red star, our closest neighbor, the planet of Mars. This is how I spent most of Christmas Eve, from the planet of Mars that I wanted to leave. That's what I thought until I saw the glow of something very strange on the planet below. I landed my ship and looked around. For miles and miles I stared at the ground, looking for a sign, some footprints or such. But what I did find, well, it wasn't much. It was just a hint of some reddish fur. I didn't know why, but it made me savor. It was suddenly cold, so I went back to my ship. Maybe flying over Mars wasn't such a bad trip. But think of my surprise when the engine wouldn't start, and lost sensors too on the galaxy chart. No wonder I was out of gas. I was stuck there on Mars, and I had to think fast. I tried to call headquarters mission control to contact the others was my goal. But of course I was out of range and it wouldn't work. I was stuck there for good, and I felt like a jerk. And Demos floating by soon. It was nearing midnight, and I knew I'd be stuck on that dreaded red planet, and I needed some luck. It was right about then, that's when I heard a jingle of bells. Now that's just absurd, for bells don't exist on this place of cruel fate. But just to be sure, I'll investigate. What I saw at first, I couldn't believe. Another spacecraft I boarded to leave, when I heard a deep voice and my spleen did a flip. Just what do you think you're doing to my ship? I turned around to see a big man in a big red spacesuit, and he seemed to have a long white beard. I can say it looked pretty weird. Now I said, look man, please don't get mad, but I'm in a situation that's pretty bad. I'm from Earth, you see, and I fly the stars, and I'm looking for life on this planet of Mars. I'm out of gas, my charts are broke when I tried calling Earth, and again he spoke. If you're really in that much of a snit, why don't you just calm down a bit? And then he winked, a flash of light, him and the spaceship were out of sight. Now I knew there was some kind of catch. A Christmas miracle happened in that flash. I ran to my ship and it was full of gas. I took off and put it in warp to go fast. And then I said, as the planet faded from the sight, Merry Christmas to all, and always keep your gas can filled tight.